Good morning, folks. My name is Alexis Bach, and I am a volunteer with NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. I'm here today interviewing my friend Lori Husky, who is greatly involved with NAMI. She has been a past president of NAMI. Mm-hmm. She is a social advocate for NAMI, and we're here to discuss mental illness.
Thank you for having me. I'm so pleased to be allowed this forum. NAMI, as you mentioned, is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. The organization began in 1979 in Madison, Wisconsin, with several mothers who were frustrated with the lack of resources and even any kind of education about their children's illnesses. And since then, it has grown into the largest grassroots organization that advocates for the mentally ill and their families in our nation. Our particular affiliate here in Kane County, which is NAMI Kane County North, started in 1987. And we've grown and we're getting more exposure. I'm out there talking as often as possible to anyone who will listen. And this is a good start, another demographic that we haven't explored before.
So in what ways does NAMI serve the community? Is it so either community NAMIs, mm-hmm. like maybe by county, or how exactly does NAMI work to serve the community?
There are 23 affiliates in Illinois. Most of us are up here in the northern part of Illinois. We serve the community by offering free education courses. Twice a year, we have a 12-week free education course for family members or friends of someone with a mental illness. Our affiliate offers 3 monthly support groups for family members and friends. We have an office here in Ecker Center in Elgin. And I invite people to call me or stop in. I'm there on Tuesdays in the mornings until about 3 o'clock. And this, when you come in and let me give you some ideas on how to start the journey, I really started this in 2008 when 2 of my 3 children were diagnosed with a mental illness. And someone suggested to me that I should take the family-to-family course. And I did, and it was life-changing for me because I could see the illnesses through my children's eyes.
I can't say enough about how wonderful the family-to-family mm-hmm. course is. I myself became involved mm-hmm. in NAMI because my daughter struggles very deeply with mental health issues. Mm-hmm. And my husband and I took the family-to-family course, and it was just, again, to paraphrase you, it was life-changing. It gave us so much information and knowledge, and not just that, but to know that my husband and I weren't alone, you know, that other people struggle with this stuff, and that NAMI has just an incredible amount of resources, not only for the clients who suffer from mental illness, but also for the families of those who suffer from mental illness.
It is a family disease. It impacts all of us. And sadly, we lost our son in 2011 to his illnesses. But I continue to advocate because I have many family members who are also affected. You know, the statistics are 1 in 5 of us have a mental illness of some kind. And that means depression, anxiety. Anxiety is the most diagnosed mental illness in the world. And, you know, we tend to think of bipolar or schizophrenia because those are the ones we hear the most about. But eating disorders, there's just a whole group of illnesses. And so my mission is to educate people. I want to stop the stigma and tell people to talk about it. One other way that we've been involved in our community is that both NAMIs in Kane County, the other one is down in Aurora at Mercy Center, and that is NAMI Kane, South, Kendall, and DeKalb counties. There's sort of a boundary line that many of our clients cross over. So we work very closely with them so that people can find the best information that's closest to their home and that works for them. The other thing that we've been involved with them is that we are part of the Kane County Mental Health Coordinating Council and support the Treatment Alternative Court, which is a wonderful program. It offers people that have committed a felony but have mental illness a team to work with. It's a 2-year program, and there are only a certain amount of slots open every year. But it's a marvelous program if people can get through it and then their felony is erased. And after they graduate from that program, they move on to hopefully a job, better skills, social skills, etc.
So are you also, I heard that you were also involved with the Elgin Police Force. You teach a course. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
I don't teach the course. I am part of the course. I've gone to speak about as a family member or as a NAMI person. We're very involved and have advocated along with NAMI KDK for CIT, which is Crisis Intervention Training. And we do that for not only the safety of our loved ones, but for the police department, the police officers. We recently had a training at the Elgin Police Department for all of the dispatchers for fire and police, which is huge because they literally are the first person that we talk to. So that's huge. And we are very, very proud to say that Chief Anna Lally has told us that 85% of the Elgin Police Department has been trained and certified in CIT, and by summer's end, they will all be. It gives police officers another tool to de-escalate programs that, when somebody's in a crisis, we need to step back and take a breath and find out what's really going on. Jail is not the answer for people in a mental health crisis.
I've heard that you've done, other really interesting things in the community. Can you give me an example of maybe another way that you have let's say, focus on cure the stigma? Because right now that's one of our themes with NAMI. Is there anything that you've done? Have you spoken anywhere in particular, or how can people learn more about?
Well, I invite anyone to ask me to come and talk about it. The only way to erase stigma about mental illnesses, which are biological illnesses, it's not a lack of willpower or a failing, is short a time ago as 1977, parents and especially mothers were being blamed for schizophrenia in their children. I will go anywhere and talk about it because unless we talk about it and erase the shame of getting help, the stigma will continue. And stigma prevents people from taking that first step to getting help. And we know treatment works, and especially early intervention. So our group also works with the Kane County Behavioral Health Council. We're a member there. And we work with other groups throughout Kane County to advocate for better mental health care for children as well as adults.
The work that NAMI has done is just amazing. As a person who has, once again, been involved with the program, I know that the 3 evenings during the month that we can get together with other adults who have loved ones who suffer from the mental illness, I think the biggest thing for me, and especially my husband, because sometimes people are reluctant to go, is that feeling that we're not alone, that there's someone else out there who understands, because it's not a matter of just snap out of it and
will not judge.
Yes,
it's a very safe place to go because most of us as family members have been judged. If only you had stronger discipline. If only you didn't let him or her get away with everything. Until someone has walked in your shoes, it's it really adds to the shame. And so you don't want to tell people, you don't want to express that you had to call the police department on your child.
Or that you had to have them removed from the home.
Right.
It's very emotional. So when I began to go to the meetings, I wanted to get involved at that point. And I did become involved with NAMI, but I know that there's so many other ways that if there's listeners out there and they're thinking this is something that I also deal with, or I know someone, how can the listeners get involved in our organization?
Okay, first of all, let me just tell you a few things that we can do. Twice a year in May during Mental Health Month, and then in October during Mental Health Week, we have tables at the Jewel here on the west side of Elgin, giving out literature and information, collecting donations if people seem to feel like that's something they'd like to do. So we're always looking for people to man those tables. It's called NAMI Cares, and we'll be putting information about that up on our websites. They can go to our website, which is NAMI, N-A-M-I, Kane County North, just KCN.org, and see what's going on currently. They can call me at our NAMI office, which is 847-410-9719. And if I can't answer your questions, because I need to say right out, we are not therapists. We are just family members who have been through this. And some of us have lived through things we didn't think we could live through. So the more information we can give you, the better. Education is your best tool. It's your best friend when you're dealing with mental illnesses. The other thing we do is NAMI hosts a drop-in center at the Ecker Mental Health Center 2 afternoons a week from 1 until 3 p.m. And it's for anyone in the Elgin area that has mental illness above the age of 18.
Okay.
And they can come in there. We offer free snacks. We offer board games, art projects. There's a support group. It's just a place for people to come and not think about their illnesses, to be like they want everyone else to see them. Just a good friend. And I have to say I have many, many friends through this drop-in center. So we can use volunteers for that. I'm so thankful that you have volunteered.
I have to say that that's changed my life in many ways, because the folks at NAMI are just the most amazing, loving, caring people. And to me, it's just an honor to be able to serve them and to be able to be a part of their lives in that small way. I know we need volunteers. So that's an area that I wasn't reluctant. I just kind of jumped right in. That's more of my personality. I would suggest people attend one of our meetings. We meet every second Saturday of the month, except July, at the Ecker Mental Health Center up on the 3rd floor. And come and listen to what we plan. We work very closely with NAMI Illinois as well as NAMI National, which is in Arlington, Virginia. We advocate a lot. In fact, I'm very proud of the fact that Illinois has the strictest insurance parity laws now in the nation. Currently, what is NAMI's greatest need, and how can our listeners get in touch with you?
Okay. Currently, I would say our drop-in center, we need volunteers. Right now we have 2 rotating volunteers, but as summer comes and we have family involvement and things, it would be nice to have a roster. The clients at Ecker had started a newsletter by and for themselves, but it's sort of petered out, and I hate to see that end. So if anyone has any experience in that, I could put them in touch with the gal that was the editor, and we can get that up and going again. It's important for them to have a voice to tell their concerns. Their newsletter offers artwork and poetry they've written, stories of recovery. It's an important thing. I'd like to see that going again.
And one last thing I'd like to mention that I just know from volunteering for NAMI and attending the board meetings is the fact that everyone who works there is a volunteer.
Absolutely.
And so it is critical that we have support from the community, and it's critical that we have volunteers helping us because we are the organization, being a grassroots organization.
Absolutely, we are. And we are totally dependent on donations and volunteer work. I can't underscore that enough. I'd like to just read one last thing. This came from NAMI National, and it says that NAMI is the largest grassroots organization dedicated to building better lives for millions of Americans affected by mental illness. Thousands of volunteers and supporters in communities across the United States are the face and the voice of the NAMI movement. All of us come together to give and receive help and hope. We are the individuals and the families who have lived the experience of having a mental illness. And so that's our mission, and I thank you for letting us talk about it. And that's my mantra: talk about it, talk about it.
We have, and I want to thank you sincerely for coming today. I'm just so appreciative of the fact that you came today and gave us an opportunity to talk about NAMI and what an important organization it is, how it affects the community, and what the organization needs from the community in terms of support.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day, Lori.